Hello, I'm Sri from CBTU. CBTU presents a course on Amazon Web Services. Section Amazon EC2 Launch Linux Virtual Machine. Amazon EC2 or the virtual server instances are secure and provide resizable compute capacity in the cloud. You can launch applications without upfront financial commitments. AWS EC2 is flexible service that provides a sizable cloud-based compute capacity in the form of EC2 instances or VM instances. You can sign up for Amazon EC2 for free. Let's get started. Let us launch a Linux virtual machine. As a prerequisite, sign up for the free AWS account first. Once you sign into your AWS account using your account credentials. To sign in using IAM user credentials, choose this sign into a different account link and provide your credentials. This is a snapshot of Amazon EC2 dashboard where you can see all the resources at glance. You can launch Amazon EC2 instance or the virtual server from here. We can create instance from templates which help in quick launching of instances. Using AWS Management Console, we are launching Linux EC2 instance. You click on the launch instance and configure your EC2 instance. Choose instance type, add storage, tags, and configure security group. Create a key pair, create instance, and connect to the instance. As a last step, don't forget to terminate instances when you don't need them any longer. Let's get started. Let us sign into the console. You can search for the AWS service you are looking by typing here or by clicking the services pop-down menu, which lists all the AWS production services. Okay, let us select EC2. And right now we are in US West region and Oregon availability zone. So let us keep it default. And let us click on Launch Instance. This is a wizard with simple 7 steps for launching Amazon EC2 instance or virtual server instance. We're in step 1 for choosing AMI. AMI is a template that contains software configuration, operating system, application server, and pre-built applications. AMI is required to launch your instance. You can choose the AMIs provided by the AWS or the user community or the AWS marketplace. You can bring your own AMIs also. You notice that some AMIs are marked as free tier eligible. While practicing, don't forget to select the AMI which is free tier eligible so that you won't incur any costs for practice. Let us select this Amazon Linux. Amazon machine images use one of the two types of virtualization. Para-virtual, that is PV, or hardware virtual machine, HVM. The main difference between PV and HVM AMIs are the way in which they boot and whether they can take the advantage of special hardware extensions such as CPU, network, and storage for better performance. Here the virtualization type is HVM. ENA is Elastic Network Adapter and that's enabled here. The root device volume contains the image used to boot the instance. Here the root device type is EBS, Elastic Block Storage. And you can select one of these AMIs or you can have your own AMIs or use AWS Marketplace for customized feature-rich AMIs. You can buy the software from trusted vendors like SAP, Zen, Microsoft, Juniper, Trend Micro, and many others. These are the featured softwares, popular softwares, and categorized like this. You can choose the one which meets the business needs. And you can also select community provided AMIs. Let us select this free tier eligible Amazon Linux. Amazon EC2 provides wide range of instance types optimized to fit different business needs. The different instance types have different combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity, and gives the flexibility to choose appropriate mix of resources for applications. We're in step 2, choose an instance type. Here it displays all instance types, and we can select if you want GPU graphics, these are the instances, and if you want memory optimized, these are the instances. Let us select micro instances. Let us select the instances which are free tier eligible so that while practicing you won't incur any charges. These micro instances are eligible for AWS free usage tier for the first 12 months. And let us select this general purpose T2.micro, which contains one virtual CPU and 1 GB memory, and the instance storage is ABS, and the network performance is low to moderate, and IPv6 support yes for this. Okay, with other default settings, you can review and launch from here itself or configure all these steps. The next one is configure instance details. Configure the instance to suit your requirements. You can launch the number of instances, how many instances you want. Do you want to launch an auto-scaling group? What are the purchase options? You can request for the spot instances now itself. On the network, you can use the default VPC, virtual private cloud, or create new VPC. You can use the default subnet or create a new subnet. And public IP. Auto assigning is enabled. By default, it's enabled and keep it default. Adding instance to placement group is for greater redundancy and higher network throughput. Let it be default. IAM role. By default, none, and you can create IAM roles for enforcing various security needs. Shutdown behavior. By default, it is stop, and let us keep default. And you can check here to protect against accidental termination. And you can enable CloudWatch detailed monitoring by checking this. And you can know more about the CloudWatch from here. Tenancy. How you want to run your hardware. It's a shared or dedicated. Let us keep default. Know more about Amazon EC2 dedicated instances. Let it be default shared. We have selected T2.micro instance type, which is free tier eligible. If we select unlimited option, then additional charges are applied. Let us check the advanced details. You can configure the startup scripts using these advanced details. Let us go to the next step. Step 4. Add storage. This is the default storage that is configured, volume type, and this is device, and this is snapshot, size is 8 GB, volume type ZP2 general purpose SSD. Let us keep default. IOPS, minimum and the burstable IOPS. And throughput is not available as this is not performance oriented but for testing purpose. By default, this is checked to delete the storage on termination and the data is not encrypted. Let us keep this default options. And if you want to add a new volume, you can add from here. Amazon EBS is block level storage volume that persists independently from the life of EC2 instance. You can stop and start your instance at a later time as well. And the device type you can select and snapshot, and the size, volume type, and the IOPS. By default, this volume is not deleted on termination. This is persistent storage. And if you want, you can encrypt this volume. Let us delete this and go with default storage. Free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB of ABS, general purpose SSD or magnetic storage. Next step is adding tags. A tag is a key value pair that can be applied to volumes, instances, or both. Let us add tag. Let us say name, server 1, and add another tag, owner, admin 1, purpose, demo. Like this, you can create the tags. Let us go to the next step, configure security group. A security group is a set of firewall rules that control the traffic for your instance. You can add rules to allow a specific IP address or the specific traffic to reach your instance. This is existing default VPC security group. Inbound rules applied are permit all traffic, all protocols, all port ranges. This is open and insecure. We need to configure inbound rules to permit authorized access only. Let us create a new security group. So let's give a name demo as you want, and let this be there, and the type. You can configure the protocols here. It's a Linux instance we are creating, and let us take SSH TCP protocol and the port 22. From source, we can customize the access or apply anywhere, or you can specify an IP address. This 0000/0 is open. For testing purpose, let the source be 0000/0, which is permit any traffic. This allows all IP addresses to access your instance. For high security, we should limit this access to permitted IP ranges or specific IPs only. So we have configured our instance, and let us review. It's cautioning us on the security group. Demo SG1 which we have configured is open to the world. Okay, for demo purpose, it's not an issue. For the Linux instance, we have selected free tier eligible Amazon Linux to AMI, and instance type is t2.micro. We have created demo-sg1 to permit SSH traffic from anywhere. And we are creating one instance. Purchasing option is on demand. We have left all the default options. Storage, it's 8 GB for the root, and this is the default storage, and this is tags info. Let us launch Amazon EC2 Linux virtual machine. And this is a new instance, and we don't have any key pairs. Let us create a key pair. For Windows AMIs, the private key is required to obtain password to log into your instance. A key pair consists of a public key that is stored in AWS cloud stores, and a private key is stored on your PC from where you want to access the Linux instance, and the private key allows you to connect to your instance securely using SSH. Let us create a key pair for accessing our Amazon EC2 Linux instance. Create a new key pair. Let us give a name to that. Now key pair will be generated, and we have to download the key pair and store it. And we have to download the private key file, that is .pem file, and store it in a secure and accessible location. So be warned that you will not be able to download the file again after it is created. So let us download the key pair. Let us save the file. It's downloaded. Now let us launch our instance. Now instances are being launched, and it will take few minutes until they are in the running state when they will be ready for use. Let us click on this. Now our instance is launched and the instance state is running. We haven't given any name. Let us give a name. And this is the instance ID, instance type, availability zone, instance state, status checks, no alarms, and this is the public DNS and the public IP that is assigned, and demo key pair is configured and monitoring is disabled. This dashboard can have all the instances that we have launched. This is instance ID, this is the public DNS, and this is the public IP that is assigned. We'll be using this IP address to access our instance. VPC ID, default subnet, and launch date and time. Let us see statistics. Basic statistics are true, that is system reachability check and instance reachability check. Both are passed. And we can create additional check alarms. Monitoring. So we don't have any alarms configured yet in the CloudWatch. Amazon CloudWatch gives the complete visibility of our cloud resources and applications. Amazon CloudWatch is a monitoring and management service built for developers, system operators, and IT managers. CloudWatch provides valuable data and actionable insights to monitor your applications, understand and respond to the system-wide performance changes. And it also optimizes resource utilization. It's easy to get started with CloudWatch. There is no upfront commitment or minimum fee. You simply pay for what you use. You will be charged at the end of the month for what you use. These are the CloudWatch metrics for our Linux instance. CPU utilization, discrete operations, disk writes, network in and out, packets in and out, and these are the basic monitoring metrics. We can enable detailed monitoring for more insights. We can create an alarm. We can use CloudWatch alarms to be notified automatically whenever metric thresholds reaches the level specified. SNS is simple notification service, and we can create a topic here. And we can specify the recipients. We can specify the actions to be taken: recover, stop, terminate, or reboot the instance based on the conditions that you configure here. The metrics can be any of these. Let us say CPU utilization of 75% if it is greater than or equal to for at least one consecutive period of 5 minutes or any other duration that we can set. You can give a name, friendly name to this alarm. You can create an alarm. This is the tag default key value pair that is created. You can add more tags or edit the tags here. The default frequency of all the basic monitoring is 5 minutes, and you can enable detailed monitoring to get these metrics at 1 minute frequency. Detailed monitoring is chargeable. If it's a production workload, you can enable and use the feature. Please watch next session on how to access and use newly launched Amazon EC2 Linux VM. Thanks for watching.